Welcome back to ComCon 2015, everybody. Maxwell McGee here with Anthony Agnell. Anthony, how you holding up?
I am feeling good, Maxwell McGee. I feel fresh. I feel good. Every now and again, I start to sit there and I'm like, I got that Comic-Con fatigue.
Right.
And I look downstairs and I see yet another Furiosa.
and it just gets you jazzed.
And I think to myself, I'm not wearing one of those chastity belts. My life is going okay. We got Josh Williamson.
Is your life going okay, Josh?
Yeah, life is good. Yeah,
you also have a chastity belt on. Please be honest.
Do you really want to know?
I
was told I wasn't allowed to get up, so.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, don't get up. Whatever you do.
Chair.
Just stay in the chair.
Stay in the chair.
It's only Thursday, man. I mean, come on. Actually, it's Friday. See, that's where I'm at. That gives you everything you need to know about where I'm at right now when it comes to this con.
Josh, you're a writer on Nailbiter, Illuminati, Secret Wars. I want to start with Secret Wars. I want to know sort of what have you been able to do with that series to sort of make it your own, put your own stamp on it?
When they came to me with it, they were like, you know, we want to do this Red Skull book in the Secret Wars. What do you want to do with it? I mean, it was really that simple. And really quickly, I was like, yeah, I did have an idea. I was like, what if the Red Skull is sort of this like evil spokesman who you think is supposed to be dead, but what if he's alive and he's out there sort of messing with stuff? And so yeah, the book is about Dr. Doom sends a team of people to go and try and hunt him down and find out if he is dead, bring his body back. If he's alive, kill him. And I've been kind of like a lot of freedom with it. You know, there was a couple times where I was like, they're not going to let me do that. There's no way. And you kind of push that envelope a little bit, and then they let you do it.
And it just keeps going by, and you're like, they're just letting me go. They're just letting me go.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's always certain directives when you're working on something so big, has so many moving pieces. Sometimes the team members would change a little bit here and there. There was a couple things we had to switch up. But I mean, in the end, I'm really happy with it. I mean, it's just a super dark series amongst all these, like, you know, superhero books. And then here we have this, like, really deep, dark Red Skull series.
It's weird that it's so dark. There's like, Red Skull is just not one of those consistent base level characters. You know, there are a lot of different versions of him. There's sort of like the behind the scenes manipulator from like Brubaker's Captain America. There's, you know, the insane leering bug-eyed psychotic from Uncanny Avengers. There's the frickin' Agent Smithed out Hugo Weaving Red Skull, who's always just talking like So
talking
like,
to his teeth,
how do you know, how did you come to being like, I want the spokesman, I want like the face of this evil?
I just knew I wanted the force of evil, you know. I wanted this person. It was like he felt like, I say force of evil, but like a force of nature, you know. He's kind of, when he comes into a room, you know he's there by pure evil alone. And I knew I wanted to do this sort of, I didn't want to do the super powered one. I wanted to get back to a little bit of Brubaker, a little bit of how he was in the movie, and sort of this, I don't want to say iconic because it's the Red Skull, but this sort of, you know, the core of what he is, and that's a master manipulator. You know, he manipulates through his words and through little itty bitty actions that he does to sort of manipulate people and corrupt them. And that's really what he does. You know, I mean, the Red Skull is the kind of person that you are around him, and just being around him starts to turn you into being evil, starts to turn you into something worse. You know, and so that's what I kind of wanted, was a guy that was sort of like that, and that's what he is, man.
How do you write? There's a weird pace to horror comics. It's different. You know, if you're dealing with horror on a stage, on a screen, you can control the pace. And when you're doing horror comics, it's a very, very different way of building tension. You're sitting there, and you have people turning the pages. How do you know, your book Nailbiter is about, like, some disgusting, bloody stuff. How do you get into that headspace? How do you make a comic feel tense and scary when it's somebody looking at colored pages like this?
Well, I mean, you know, with that book, I mean, it's it means getting the mindset of it. It was a lot of research on serial killers, but I also did a lot of research on horror movies, actually. Like, I watched a lot of documentaries and listened to the directors and the writers talking about what they did, and I thought about film a lot. And that was actually on my mind, because I was very much like, how can I do what they do in film in the comics? And I think being aware of that and trying to find ways of making it happen. There's a thing in issue 2 where you do a point of view thing where you're through the killer's eyes. You know, it turns the reader into the killer chasing somebody through a graveyard. And people like that. It was something that we were worried about. Will this translate? I think just being aware of it and being conscious and pushing it and trying and seeing if it works or not. We did a thing, and I wasn't sure we were going to pull it off. I thought everyone was going to hate it. We did issue 3 where there were lights flickering in this this morgue, and every time the lights would flicker, you'd see in the background, the audience, the reader would know there was like a bad guy in the background approaching good guy characters, but the good guy characters don't know that he's coming for them. And I was worried about it. I was thinking, they're going to see the 3 pages. They're going to pull them out, and they're going to look at them, and they're going to see. But I think we still read, we still read left to right and down, right, like Western reading, and people still do that. And I still think they were able to sort of build that tension with it. Cool. There's something about page turns you can do. I mean, page turns kind of work on that. I mean, that's one of the biggest challenges of comics is timing, because you can't control the timing. In movies, in video games, and in television shows, you can control the time, but in comics, you can't. But there's a certain way of controlling the rhythm with the amount of panels, the amount of splash pages you do, that you can create a kind of pacing in the comic and a kind of timing. It's really challenging. It's one of the things that drives me the most crazy working on the book, is trying to find that. But I think being aware of it is the first part of it, and then kind of accepting the challenge and be like, I'm going to do that thing they only do in movies. I'm going to try and pull that off in a comic.
Josh, one more question.
Sure.
Is Super Pro one of the new Illuminati?
No.
God damn it! Super Pro will never return!
No.
We're never getting Super Pro back! Josh Williamson, writing Secret Wars Red Skull. He is writing the new Illuminati. Illuminati is September?
It's November, actually.
November.
I don't think it's been announced yet, but yeah, it's November. It's got the hood in it. Yeah, it's pretty...
Oh, it's got Parker.
Yeah.
Parker. He's always got 2 guns, and he's a really tricky guy. He likes a lady in a mask. Josh, thank you so much.
Thank you.